Welcome aboard. This is the Springboard. We'll talk about money. We'll talk about politics. We'll talk about what's going on in the world. I'm an opinionated guy. You can like me, hate me, love me, or absolutely abhor me. I'm sharing my opinions where they are welcome, and especially where they are not.
The Democrats are an intriguing group when you think about it. Are they even aware of their situation yet? Not only did they lose the presidential race, but they also lost everything indecisively. The critical swing states all went to Donald J. Trump, who also managed to secure votes from the black, Hispanic, young, and even union demographics. Yet, here we have Chuck Schumer rallying his supporters with chants of, "We will win! We will win!" For any rational observer, the question becomes, how exactly do they plan to achieve this? Not that I have any interest in seeing Democrats succeed, of course. Considering their extremely radical ideas, I'm grateful they did lose. What astounds me is their sheer lack of comprehension. They really believe they are still championing causes people care about, when, in reality, the American public has completely rejected their entire platform. We don't want men competing in women's sports. We don't want tampons in boys' rooms. We don't want transgender people serving openly in our military. We don't want DEI initiatives. We don't want open borders. We don't want widespread smash and grab store robberies, and the list goes on. We rejected their ideas and policies at the polls. Rather than listening to the American people, something Democrats seem incapable of, they are doubling down on even more radical policies and ideas. It simply defies logic. Let's be honest, a great product will naturally attract customers. No amount of savvy sales techniques can turn a subpar product into a success. So you have two choices. Either acknowledge the shortcomings of your product and improve it, or reach out to your customers to understand what they truly want that your product currently lacks. Otherwise, you're just beating a dead horse. Speaking of dead horses, and not to necessarily beat my own, but I've often been saying over and over again that if you don't understand why you lost, you can't know why you weren't winning. The voters made it crystal clear. They don't want what the Democrats are selling. I understand the need to rally their most loyal supporters. However, it is astonishing to me that they don't get it that their core base wasn't enough to win any part of the election. They should be addressing the masses who didn't vote for them. Instead of huddling in back rooms discussing better sales tactics for their unwanted products, they should focus on fulfilling the duties they were elected to perform, to speak and act on behalf of the American people. How can they not grasp that their role isn't to reshape America into their personal vision, but to represent the desires of the majority? What's the point of pushing a platform that nobody wants? If you're selling squid burgers and nobody's buying them because, let's face it, squid burgers just aren't good, who in their right mind would continue trying to sell them? At some point, someone has to realize they'd be better off offering something more traditional. That's not to say you can't try new things and present fresh ideas. Of course, you should do that. People might be interested, but they will also let you know when they think your ideas aren't good, and at that point, you move on. No matter how hard you try or how much you want it, if people don't want your squid burgers, you will continue to fail while others succeed. Chanting outside your restaurant, "Squid, squid, squid," in the face of defeat won't change anyone's mind. The fact is, even if it's hard for the Democrats to accept, the American people said no. When that happens, it's time to change and adapt. Especially with radical ideas, it's wise to return to more traditional common sense approaches. Like the squid burger concept, sometimes things just go too far, and when they do, you need to pull back on the reins a bit. The more the Democrats pound their fists and push their failed agendas, the clearer it becomes to anyone paying attention that they are out of tune with the American people. It's like a guitar. It can sound good on its own when it is in tune with itself, but the moment you join a band, if your guitar isn't in sync with the rest of the group, it won't sound good and it will stand out as bad in the mix. If Chuck Schumer and his fellow Democrats want to win, they cannot hope to achieve it by acting against the views and interests of the very people they need to win over. Right now, all that Schumer and his buddies are doing is making it abundantly clear why they lost.